Yeah, that was that's our plan in the beginning of the year, just to come out, be a dominating team, and overall be the best team in the country. And so far, we've done a great job with that. So right now we're happy with it, but we're not satisfied with with just these results.
Minkah said that watching the USC Washington tape, USC looked a lot different than when you guys played them. Did you get that same sense that you've seen that tape?
Yeah, with the little bit of I watched of the USC tape against Washington, USC did look like a totally different team than we played them. It was the first game of the year we played them, so of course, there's going to be some things that, for both teams that are, not as, well go executed as planned, but look like a totally different ball club, and, they're really one of the hottest teams finishing up the season, so I agree.
Did seeing that game at all give you any extra confidence knowing the way you played, or do you just kind of throw that out the window?
Yeah, I kind of threw it out the window. Like I said, it was the first game of the year. People, it could have been anything. Teams weren't really, focused on, who was going to be where in certain positions. But so it's totally different. Two different teams now at this point in the year, so you really can't base it off that first game.
For some of the older people on the team, how much does the extra playoff experience help?
I think it helps a lot. Knowing that, the break in between the SEC championship game and then this first playoff game is a tremendous jump. It's a break. So you got to know how to, manage your body, stay in shape, get ready for the game. So I think being older, you kind of know what to expect, and it helps you out tremendously.
What specifically have you learned from previous, bowl layoffs and some of that kind of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
What have you done this?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is staying in shape. Eating right, getting the right amount of rest. Too much time off can hurt you because you come back, you're not in football shape. But the most important thing is once you get back into the football mode, you got to attack practice hard so you can get your body used to getting back to a game speed because you haven't played the game in so long. So I think that would be the biggest issue and could help you out a lot, or it could really hurt you a lot if you don't do it.
How's it been going to this point?
Yeah, I would say it's been going great. We're going out, we're practicing fast. Like I said, everybody's trying to get back into football mode. I think we're back there now. We had those 3 practices that were kind of like camp style, so those were kind of the ones that really you had to push yourself the most. And, I think now that everyone's back in the football mindset and, we've been looking good and we're just ready.
You said kind of how to manage the layoff, but also this team has been through the college football playoff and they've suffered both the loss and also winning it all.
Mm-hmm.
Does that help, I guess, with the mindset and just how you prepare for this?
Yeah, it does. That first year, it was new to everybody. It was the first year for the playoffs. We really didn't know what to expect, how long it would be off, for the game, how to get, adjusted to it. Last year we figured it out, but in this year we know what to do also. So, and also having guys on the team as myself, knowing how it feels to lose in the, first game of the playoffs, also to win it, that one feeling is worse than the other one, of course. So you don't want to get that feeling again, and you got to do whatever it takes to not let that happen again.
Who's been the most impressive younger guy, maybe a guy that didn't see the field much this year on offense, but you came back from bowl practice and he opened your eyes a little bit?
That's hard. That's really hard. I think. Wow, that's a good question. I think a lot of young guys have just helped us, the whole team. In different ways, like special teams. It's just hard to pick one guy out. I could say Trevon Diggs. He plays a good amount, but just what he does for our team, returning punts as a true freshman in like big games has been great. He had a great SEC game with special teams, so I would say him. If I had to pick one guy, he's just been focused on doing the right things in special teams. Also offensively, when he get out there and gets his plays called, he do the right thing. He goes hard, so I would say probably Trevon Diggs.
What does it say about this? You guys have had so much, as much talent as you got, you've had so much contributions from freshmen.
Mm-hmm.
What's that say about how they came in here and the attitude, mindset, and talent they got?
It says a lot about those guys. They bought into what Coach Saban kept preaching the whole off season before the season started. About just buying into the process, being prepared. Younger guys we're gonna need you, and I think this freshman class is really they listened to what Coach said and they used it to their advantage, and you can see how so many guys that were younger guys helped us out this year.
If they're not buying in, do they get on the field?
Usually they don't, man. That's how it works, man. If you don't buy in, it's not because of coaches don't want to put you in. It's just because you're not doing the right thing. You don't know what to do. So But for the most part, we haven't had any young guys that really haven't bought into the process.
How's Pac-12 football different from SEC football?
I would just say probably that the weather is cold. When they play, it's cold, it snows. But no, for real, honestly, those guys do a great job of, I think they play fast. A lot of teams go tempo over in the Pac-12. They have a lot of D linemen. Those guys are like 320, but they're so athletic. They do a great job of playing to the hurry-up tempo over there. A lot of passing, just fast-paced. And I think, kind of whereas, we used to do it a lot, but, just really smash mouth, powerful SEC teams every week in and out. We're lining up, just pounding the ball downhill all game.
What's your favorite memory of the season so far?
I would say,
Not Mac Wilson stealing your touchdown.
no, not that one. No, it honestly had to be Eddie Jackson. I think the Ole Miss game when we were kind of down. It was momentum was going their way. He returned the punt return, I think, right before halftime, and that was a great memory. And Eddie got hurt later on in the season, but just that was a turning moment for our team, and it was a big pickup for us.
You mentioned being on both sides of this deal,
Mhm.
the good part and the bad part, and how motivating that loss a
Mhm.
couple years ago was.
Yeah.
What was that like, and does that leave a mark?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was very motivating. We had to come back the next year and bounce back, but that feeling is bad. You make it this far, you have a goal in mind to finish the season strong. You come up short, and you just you're looking for answers like what happened. It's just a bad feeling. You don't want that feeling ever. So that's why we stress a lot to the younger guys and to the team that let's go out there and take practice seriously. Let's execute our plays that are called. Take care of the ball because you don't want to be sitting at the end of the game doing the media asking what happened and this feeling's bad. So.
Coach praised last year's team
Mhm.
for the way they kind of handled last year's bowl prep versus the
Yeah.
one 2 years ago.
Mhm.
Did you notice that, and are there similarities with,
Yeah.
with what you guys are doing this year
Mhm.
along those lines?
Yeah, I do. Like I was stating earlier, it's about coming back and attacking at full speed so you can be in shape and be ready to go once you get back to the game. So I think I've seen that a lot this season from our team. Everybody's came back. We're going full speed, trying to get in shape. We're back to that now. Last year I think that's what happened to us. Everyone attacked at full speed. We're ready to play the game. A lot of energy, and that's what I see this season.
OJ, you were one of a handful of players that came back that maybe didn't have to. And this year, there's some players that are leaving their teams just before they play a bowl game. You're aware of that, obviously. So, what do you think about that, or do you?
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's kind of, you can see both sides of the stories where these guys are, some of them are banged up, they say, and they don't want to risk anything else. If they were playing for a championship, I wouldn't think those guys would sit out, but you kind of can see both sides of the story. I think it all comes down to your coach. If your coach allows you to do it and y'all agree on it, and you can't be mad at the kids because you can see where they're coming from, and I can see where the teammates are coming from about finishing the season with us. But ultimately, I think it comes down to your coach if he allows you to do it or not.
Is that something that could go on here? Like, do you think that that's something that would ever go on?
No, I don't think it would. No, not only because Coach Saban, he really wouldn't encourage us to do it, but I don't think a lot of guys on our team would want to do it, because we built such a bond, all season training hard with each other. No one would quit on anybody, without anything bad happening, unless it's an injury that takes you away from the season. But no one I don't think would just quit on us.
We know how.
Thanks, OJ.
All right. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Started paying attention to Alabama
Paying
when
attention.
you were a kid.
When they was winning all the championships.
So
Then around when Coach Saban got here, and they kind of went under the radar. And then when Coach Saban came and he started winning the championships, and I seen him play against Florida, because that was one of my favorite teams growing up, was Tim Tebow and that Florida team. And when they had played them, I had watched them, and I was like, oh, it's a pretty good team. And I just followed them a little bit after that.
So when was the first time you kind of caught yourself going, I think I want to play for them?
I don't know, because I'd probably say my sophomore year was really when I first actually believed that I could play here, and and then they offered me, so it kind of became a reality.
Initial impressions of the Washington receivers, especially Ross.
Number 1 and number 8, probably some of the best receivers we're going to face all season. And there are two. Well, number one is a smaller guy, quicker guy. Can make you miss in space. Is really versatile. Can run the ball on sweeps. He can catch the ball open field and make you miss. And he can catch deep balls. So he's going to be a real challenge for us to stop. Number 8, like I said, he's a bigger guy, more physical guy. And we're just going to have to be physical back with him and play our game and just try to stop both of them.
Their skill sets, are they comparable to anybody that you guys have played this year?
Number 1, I would say like number 81 we faced against Florida. He's probably bigger than him and maybe a little bit quicker in the open field, but they're kind of comparable receiver.
How much do you pay attention to Pac-12 football? Do you see much of it during the season?
I try and watch a lot of college football. So whatever's on TV, I usually put on and just watch, no matter who it is. So I watch all the big, like Stanford. I really didn't get to catch a lot of Washington games, but I seen a couple other Pac-12 games.
Throwing late at night, is it a good thing to see? They're maybe the only thing on sometimes later on a Saturday night.
Yeah, because they're a couple hours behind us, and just going on while I'm sitting in my room at whatever 11:30 at night. I'm just watching some of their games.
Is there a different style between Pac-12 football and SEC football? Or what do you notice about the difference?
I wouldn't say there's a complete difference. It's football. Everybody plays football the same way. Tackle the guy with the ball and get in the end zone. But I wouldn't say maybe we're a little bit more physical. But out there they like to throw the ball a whole lot and kind of turn it into a 7-on-7. But that's their style and we have our style.
What's been your value, Jake Browning?
Say it again.
The quarterback, Jake Browning. Kind of player.
He's a great quarterback. He gets the ball to his receivers very well, gets the ball downfield, and he's very accurate with his passes. And I feel like if we give him too much time, he could be a real challenge for us.
What about him as an athlete, running the ball, scrambling, stuff like that?
He's pretty athletic. I want to consider him a dual threat, but he can make plays with his feet.
How much have y'all focused on that USC game versus Washington in particular? Film study this week.
That was actually the first game I had watched because it was a one game that they had lost, and so you always want to watch that game and see what USC was doing to kind of make them play off their game, and it was just watching the small things, the details. Like they was being real physical with them, and they was turning the ball over too. So it's something that we're gonna have to do against Washington.
I know you're a safety, but what's the challenges of playing in the slot?
Challenges of playing in the slot is, one, you have a whole lot more field to cover, especially when you're playing like man-to-man and stuff like that. There's a whole lot of field to cover. And, you usually have the smaller, faster guys, so when you're covering the slot receiver with all that field, it could be a real challenge.
To see kind of how USC handled Washington, or how they played Washington at least, does that give you confidence, knowing how y'all played in USC at the beginning of the year?
Well, USC is kind of a different team than what they were, was it 13, 14 weeks ago. But they're still a good team, and like I said, we just got to learn from what they were doing against Washington and kind of try and do it over again.
We think some of the best, if you had to pick a moment, the best moment for Alabama defense this season.
I don't know for real, because we had a lot of those touchdowns. Like John Allen running the one against Ole Miss, running that one back. That was pretty cool. And I guess you could say Arkansas, we had a pretty good game, but definitely LSU, I would say. When we shut them out, kept them to 0 points, and we all got the what was it? It was Walter Camp. Defensive Player of the Week was the whole defense. That was pretty cool.
Did you have a moment that's like a play that you said, this is like the one play I could put on a Vine video to be like my representation of the year?
Maybe when John jumped over the dude against Texas A&M. He just smashed the quarterback. I think that would be it right there.
You said you watched a lot of like 2009, 11, some of those defenses here. How would you compare this year's defense to some of those in the past?
I would compare the execution-wise and discipline-wise. That's kind of what those years they prided themselves on, was execution and being disciplined and stopping the run and stopping the pass. And I feel like we're also doing that same thing, but we're probably a little bit more leaner and faster, so we're getting to the ball a little bit quicker, getting to the quarterback quicker. But I feel like those are a couple ways that we compare to those defenses.
When you hear people compliment this defense, say this could be Nick Saban's What does that mean to you?
It's a compliment, but, you know, it just makes us want to work even harder so that we can prove that we are the best that he's had.
I know this is a little off the wall, but 6 former Alabama players made the Pro Bowl. Is there a kind of satisfaction, pride level? Well, maybe even talking to guys from other schools that are friends of yours that will smack talk that the program's so good they sent 6 to the Pro Bowl?
Was that the most at any school or?
This year, yeah.
Yeah. I guess you could say it's a sense of pride because, you know, having other people in the NFL is kind of a pretty cool thing for us, and we get to look up to those guys and know that they're doing well. It's kind of a good thing for us too.
I guess the trend, one of the big trends in college football is the signs that says "We want Bama." Do you guys see that as much as we do? You say you watch a lot of college football. I mean, do you notice that?
Yeah, I've seen it before. You know, it's kind of a compliment towards us. You know, people saying they want to play us and they want to compete against us. But, you know, I actually seen the one thing where the Washington coach, somebody had told him that one of his fans or whatever said that we want Bama, and he was like, I ain't say that. But that was pretty funny. But you know, like I said, it's a compliment that they want to play us.
A couple more. When you hear, Chris Peterson or other head coaches kind of praise Alabama, kind of put it on a pedestal a little bit, and kind of, almost play themselves down a little bit in comparison. What's your reaction? Is that something that, they're just talk, or kind of how do you react when you hear other head coaches praise y'all that way?
I try not to listen to it a whole lot because, like you said, they're just trying to make them seem like even more of an underdog, trying to get their players even more more motivated to win the game, and trying to get us to get more complacent. So, I really try not to listen to any of that stuff.
Is it hard to kind of block it out though, or is it just kind of the way it is?
Just delete Twitter, delete Instagram, all off your phone. So that's about it.
Anything else?
What does Anthony Averett meant to this defense really coming on the season?
He kind of was the guy that surprised everybody when he won the starting job. But he worked really hard this offseason, and he's been really consistent for us this whole season. I think he has only a couple receptions on him since the last couple of weeks, and like I said, he's been really consistent.
Who's been the most impressive younger player, whether redshirt guy that maybe hasn't seen the field as much, but you've seen him progress a lot throughout the year?
Offense or defense?
Defense.
Young guy.
Well, like even when you came back from bowl practice, you're like, wow, he stepped up.
I'll say Shaheem Carter. He's supposed to have a bigger role this season, and it didn't kind of work out for him, but he didn't let it get to him. And he's been working real hard this season. He's learning the playbook, and he's just getting better out there competing every day. And like I said, he came back. Tony was actually hurt and wasn't practicing. He kind of stepped in, and he's been doing a real good job for us.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Just how ready are you to get this game going, and just how's the practice going right now?
It's been a little bit of downtime lately, and just getting back at it, and ready to get to the game. We're all excited and looking forward to the opportunity to compete.
But is you getting to that point in time where it kind of feels you're ready to play a game? I mean, there's a football game to play that's coming up, and you're eager to get there.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's the games are the funnest part of it, and just ready to get back out there and hit somebody besides our own teammates.
Where do you see Washington so far?
They're a really good team. Great defensive front and great defense in all. They're a complete team, and we have to come out and be ready to compete.
I'm sure you've been asked about this a lot, but the trend in college football is the beat Bama signs. Does people tip you off to that? Do you see it as much as we do?
You see it, but you can only play whoever they give you during the season. So we can't really control that, and we just have to play who we play.
But is there something to that as far as just like a pride factor? I mean, it's a huge compliment that it isn't beat whoever, Clemson or whatever. It's beat Bama, and everybody's doing it.
Yeah, it's I guess you could call it a compliment. I guess we're at the #1 spot right now, and everybody wants to knock off the #1. So just whoever happens to be in that slot that's who they're going to make the signs about. So.
Is it funny though? Because sometimes you see like Pee-wee teams doing it and baseball teams doing it. It's not just football teams that say that we want Bama. Is it funny?
Some people take it to a comedy sense, but it's I guess when it comes to Washington and other teams in the collegiate level, it's a little more serious.
What is it about their defensive line that's so impressive?
They're really big. They're smart. They're disciplined. All of the above, and they're just a really good defensive front.
They tough to move?
Yes, they're on film. They're really hard to move.
The season's over yet. Do you have any favorite moments or memories that really stick out for you from the last 13 games?
Just the whole season and all. It's it's been a really great season, and we don't have any intentions of stopping anytime soon. So, we'll have to talk about that at the end of the season.
Clear question. Do you ever get nervous seeing, or do you just walk around with that axe?
Oh no, not really.
Why not?
I mean, it's taped up in the end. It's not going to hurt anybody. So.
Okay. Does it carry it around a lot, though?
What?
Does it carry it around a lot?
Just in the games. Yeah.
Do you ever look at, when you're looking at another team, the team you're getting ready to play that you haven't played, do they remind you of other teams, or do you think about it that way at all? Is it, say, they remind you of LSU, or they remind you of somebody else?
I mean, every team has their own unique identity, and like every defense has their strengths and weaknesses. You have to go and game plan and execute on game day.
You had a chance to talk to Dakota at all, and have you talked to him about that incident?
Not really, just in passing. That it really sucks, and it's unfortunate that happened to him. But.
So if the receivers have an axe and the defense has a turnover belt, like what is the offensive line? Thought about that at all?
Just do your job, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
When the guards had some injury stuff and Corin moved in, how big was his role in filling in when obviously Shane went out? Just tell me about Corin's development.
I mean, we had a round robin at one time, of a bunch of people coming in and getting an opportunity, and Curve kind of pulled away from that pack and got the starting job. Really proud of him, and he's done a great job for us.
Like you, that's another guy that's had to wait his turn a little bit. Is it kind of cool to see when the opportunity comes up that somebody who has been around here a while and been patient step up?
Yeah, it's been it's good whenever that someone busts their butt every day and puts in the work when they're not getting the glorification of it, and then finally gets the opportunity and really makes the best of it.
You mentioned having that round robin. Does it kind of feel better to have kind of a set group of guys now?
I mean, you mesh more and more as games go by, and but I'm comfortable with whoever they put in beside me. So I trust everyone in my offensive lineman.
Is there any interest among any of you about seeing about players that are elected to not play in bowl games to protect themselves?
That's their decision, and they have to make the best decision for themselves, and whatever they decided, that's on them. That you can't really control that. So.
Would you look forward to going to Coach Saban and saying, "Coach, I think I'm going to skip the bowl game and take care of myself"?
Personally, I don't think I would do that. So.
Okay, guys.